Staying in a beautiful cabin Reef and Elizabeth have created. It's just filled with essence feelings. I was sitting in their meditation room. I was saying, Maharaji, what is it you have in mind? It's none of my business, I know. I do this weekend. And I reached up onto a shelf in which there were a number of pamphlets of the teachings of Hazrat Inayat Khan, who was the father of Pierre Inayat Khan. That's the lineage and transmission that the abode is receiving through its meaning. And I picked out one of them randomly and I opened it, and the teaching was teaching that I often share, but it's always so fierce that I'm always reticent. And I said, Maharaji, you really want to do it this way? And see, it's like throwing the I Ching or something like that, or heads and tails. You can throw it and say, well, whatever it comes up, and then it comes up in a way you don't like, and you say, well, that's where the way those things are. And but I figured now we all are here enough. So let's spend this next few minutes wrestling with really one of the scary problems of the spiritual journey. Let me, I'll start with this few paragraphs by Hazrat Inayat Khan, who's a Sufi saint. It is selflessness, which often produces humbleness in one's spirit, taking away the intoxication which clouds the soul. Independence and indifference, which are the two wings which enable the soul to fly, spring from the spirit of selflessness. The moment the spirit of selflessness has begun to sparkle in the heart of the human, he or she shows in his word and action a nobility which no earthly power or wealth can give. To become something is a limitation, whatever it may be. Even if a person were to be called the king of the world, he would still not be the emperor of the universe. The master of the earth is still the slave of heaven. The selfless is one who is no one, yet is all. The Sufi, therefore, takes the path of being nothing instead of being something. It is this feeling of nothingness which turns the human heart into an empty cup into which the wine of immortality is poured. It is this state of bliss which every truth-seeking soul understand. It is easy to be learned, and it is not very difficult to be wise. It is within one's reach to become good, but there is an attainment which is greater and higher than all these things, and this is to be nothing. It may seem frightening to many, the idea of becoming nothing. For human nature is such that it is eager to hold on to something, and the self holds on to its own personality, its own individuality. Once one has risen above this, one has climbed Mount Everest. One has arrived at the spot where earth ends and heaven begins. Add to that D.T. Suzuki, for example. To love God is to have no self, to be of no mind, to become a dead man, to be free from the constrictive motivations of consciousness. Mahatma Gandhi. There comes a time when an individual becomes irresistible. His or her actions become all-pervasive in their effect. This comes when that person reduces himself to zero. When I was in Japan and studied in a Zen monastery in Kyoto, every day we would read, among other things, the statement, this is a Hakuin song. When you understand that form is the form of the formless, your coming and going takes place nowhere else but where you are. When you understand that thought is the thought of the formless, your singing and dancing is no other than the voice of the Tao. Translation of the Way of Chung Tzu by Thomas Merton. The true men of old knew no lust for life, no dread of death. Their entrance was without gladness, their exit yonder without resistance. Easy come, easy go. They did not forget where from, nor ask where to, nor drive grimly forward, fighting their way through life. They took life as a king, took death as a king, without care, and went away. They had no mind to fight Tao, fight against them. They did not try by their own contriving to help the Tao along. These are the ones we call true. Minds free, thoughts going, brows clear, faces serene. Were they cool? Only as cool as hot. Were they hot? No hotter than spring. All that came out of them came quiet before season. I recently had a dialogue. I was sitting in meditation at the Barry Insight Meditation Society Center in Massachusetts, which, if you don't know about it, it's a magnificent center. When I was sitting there, there were a number of them. It was being taught this time by 5 Burmese monks. Mahasi Sayadaw was the senior and Mahasi Sayadaw taught Anagorika Manindra. Manindra was a an and he went to Burma and studied after having been a Hindu. He was a devotee of another mind, and then he went and he became a Buddhist. And I met him in Bodh Gaya. He was one of my teachers in Bodh Gaya, and he was with this group in Bari. His name is Anagori, and he's a very beautiful. He's so transparent, you almost think he's not there at all. Yet he's a walking statement of the Visuddhimagga, which is the Buddhist canon, the Pali Buddhist canon. And I was discussing with him various experiences that I've had, and he was sort of questioning me, because there are all these different category systems in Buddhism as to whether you've experienced nirvana, which stage, and all that kind of stuff. And I was telling him about this LSD trip that I had several years ago. I've talked about it. This LSD trip I had several years ago in the Mid-America Motel in Salina, Kansas. I was describing what that exact experience was like, and I was just talking about what had happened was that I had been given some acid, which was very powerful acid. And when I took it, it was in pure form, so it was many, I mean, you could get 500 doses on your little fingernail. So I took, my scientific way, I took the end of a matchstick, and I touched it, and I touched my tongue. And I started to go out, and I kept going and going and going and going, and I started to get paranoid. Because I wasn't sure about the acid. I wasn't sure what this fellow had given me. And for you to understand that paranoia, I guess I've just got to backtrack a little. I got to tell you the story. I was going to pass it by, but I guess I could help you. There was a time in my life when I was involved in smuggling LSD, and I had distributors. I was doing it because I thought LSD should be part of the American fabric. And one of my distributors was about to buy a large amount of LSD, and he was driving west in a truck with a lot of chemical equipment because he made another kind of chemical. And he got stoned, and he went through a truck stop place, and he got arrested, and he was in jail. And this was just before I was to transact this deal. And the next thing I heard was a telephone call from his mother. And his mother said to me, so-and-so has been arrested, and I need to raise some money for him, and he told me to go ahead with the deal, and I'm taking over for him. Now, this is an unusual situation, and in the business that I was in at that moment, there is what you call healthy and functional paranoia. And it's wise to stay quite paranoid all the time, or distrusting everybody's motives. That's the way you survive in this business. And the thought that a mother, I could imagine the government going to this woman and saying, look, we've got your son, we're going to send him away for life. But we don't really want him, we want your son. So if you will if you will help us get that person, we will let your son go. And what mother wouldn't? I mean, I couldn't pit a mother against, I couldn't trust a mother's instincts under these conditions. So the plan was to meet her at a certain time, but I didn't go. Because she was so cloak and dagger. She wasn't used to this business, and you get very cool in this business. And she was saying things like, she had watched so much television, she was saying, I'll meet you on the southwest corner in front of this hospital at 12:05, and I'll be wearing a blue hat. You know, and I thought, oh boy, that's all I have to do is drive up to that corner. So I didn't go. And And the result was that he didn't get the money, and it was a hassle, and he did get out of jail. And then a lot of things subsequently happened in his life and in my life, and it turned out that she wasn't going to murder me. She really just didn't want to do the deed. Okay. This turned out later, but I didn't know that. Now, several years later, this fellow has again been arrested, has escaped, is now wanted by the FBI. I am giving a lecture in a city in the Midwest, which will be nameless, and I receive a girl up front afterwards with a note, and the note says, if you would like to visit, follow this girl, signed by this guy's name. So I said to the girl, I can't come tonight because I'm busy interviewing other people. But here's my number at the hotel if he wants to call me tomorrow, realizing it would be a risk since he's wanted for the FBI. Well, he called, and I went out to his house, and he was living a whole different life right now. He had a new wife, new job, new body, his face off, so everything was changed. He shaved everything off, and straight shoulder. He had healthier fire department in the back of his station wagon, his estate wagon with his big dog, and he was owning a chemical company as a front. And he was living in a big mansion, and he was like somebody else, except that down in the basement were all the kettles and drums, bubbling away. I said, can't you learn your lesson? Isn't enough enough? I mean, what do you want, for God's sakes? You want to be strung up? You've done enough for society already, I mean, take some years off. And he couldn't stop, it gets sorry, you can't stop. You're going to do good so bad. So he had this little vial of stuff, and he said, look at this. He turned out the lights, and it lit up in the dark. He says, this is a sign of really good acids. So he gave me this acid, and I took it. And this is the acid, then, that I'm taking in the Mid-America Motel in Salina, Kansas, you see. And as it starts to go out and out and out, I suddenly think, Jesus, maybe he's getting back at me for what I did to his mother. Okay? Now you understand the paranoia, okay? I mean, I had to tell you the whole thing so you just understand that level of paranoia. So I start to freak. I think, my God, what has he done? I've got to stop this. I'm running. I've got the whole room. Somebody's asked me to take a lot of Tibetan tongas to Boulder, Colorado. I have them in the trunk, so I've got them all over the room. I've got Maharaji's picture on the front of the television set. I've got the set on, but the volume off, so images are coming out of his body. I've got all kinds of holy quotes all around the ground, incense, and I'm naked, all right, in this room. And I start to flip out, and I think, I've got to stop this, quick. And I rush to the door. And then this image of what's going to happen next if I walk out that door. I mean, it's one thing to be in your own reality. It's another thing. Naked man in room 125, we have a code 120, code 12. And then it's going to be a mess. And if I'm going to die, I'll die anyway. It'll be just a horrible way to go. And so with my hand on the doorknob, I thought, no, I don't want to die that way. So I turned back and I tried to figure out if there was some other way I could die that would be more pleasant. Or could I avoid death? Is there some way I could avoid death? No matter how hard I thought about it, there was no way I could avoid death. I mean, it might take 40 years, but I was still going to die. You understand? I'm taking you now into my LSD world. There was no way that I could avoid death. And I realized that as long as I thought I was anybody, I was going to die. And what was going to die was who I thought I was. And each time I had a new thought of who I was, that one was going to die too, one way or another. And finally, since I could find no way out, there was a no exit situation. There was no way not to die. I thought, well, why wait? And I turned to this big picture of Maharaji and I said, Maharaji, would you please let me die? And I lay down and I experienced my thoughts. They went till pretty soon I saw each thought arising, existing, passing away. Any space, next thought arising, and as long as I was in a thought, I was living, I was somebody. going to die. And then the spaces between the thoughts became more pronounced. And finally, I was sitting in a thought facing the space. And I dove into the space, which was the space between two thoughts. Now, the next thing that I experienced was the thought, well, now you can be anything you want to be. And the thought after that was, uh-oh, you came up. Do you hear that? I grabbed. Do you hear the way that works? I mean, it was bittersweet. I could be anything I wanted to be, but I still was going to be something, because even though I was free to choose now because I saw that I wasn't who I thought I was, still any thought I grabbed onto, and I had grabbed because there I was back. Now, how long that space lasted, I don't know. It might have lasted a millionth of a second. It might have lasted an hour. I have no way of knowing. It was within that range, I assume, because of the way night and day. And the rest of the session was all very interesting. Well, in telling Munindraji about this experience, he said to me, well, that was an experience of Nibbana. Now, I had never associated that experience, even though I sort of thought it might be. I mean, I never thought it was. And the first thing I said to him was, yes, but that was drug-induced. That's my head trip about my values, about method. And he said, well, the drug, it had nothing to do with it. It was you that were ready to do that thing. That happened to you. I said, but the truth, I said, then I went into the discussion, well, how do I know it's a valid thing? He says, well, you should be able to do this, this, and this. I said, I can't, because the way I got to it was through drugs, and I can't do it without drugs. And so we were a standoff on that issue. But that isn't the thing I'm trying to raise with you. I'm raising an issue that when he said to me, that experience you had was nirvana, I experienced almost a cold chill. Because I think I faced directly for the first time what I had been talking about for about a year now, what it meant to become nobody. See, I've been saying ever since I met Maharaji, the thing about Maharaji that was interesting was that no matter where I looked, I couldn't find him. I mean, all these stories and events, and he did things that were just all this stuff, but I couldn't find a person there. I couldn't find somebody. There was nobody responsible inside. There was nobody minding the store, if you will. And I was looking at that from outside in. And I could see that there were long periods of time when I'd be lecturing, when the lecturing was just happening, and I was sort of just aware the lecturing was happening. But you see, there was still somebody that was aware the lecturing was happening. But in that little space, there wasn't anybody there. And when I read the Buddhist texts, it describes that as you go into the nibbanic state, then after a while you get so that you can stay in it longer and longer and longer, until pretty soon you could actually act while you were in it. And I understood, I began to understand, what it is that is the end result of what it is you want. Was the chilling realization that the end result didn't have me scared. I just wasn't able to say, well, this is the end result. And I've been saying it so many ways. I've been saying, you can get up to the door, but you can't get through. And I say all these cute things like, nobody gets enlightened. And I never really grokked it. I never really experienced the feeling of what that no self-consciousness means. You take Gandhi's thing. There comes a time when an individual becomes irresistible and his action becomes all pervasive in its effect. This is Christ's statement, Hedji but faith. this comes when he reduces himself to zero. It isn't the place where you say, now I am zero. See, the wording, it's very hard because the statement, he reduces himself to zero. It sounds like the he that reduced himself to zero is still going to be around, saying, now I've reduced myself to zero. But it isn't that way. The he that says, now I'm going to reduce myself to zero, goes into itself. There used to be a wonderful UPA cartoon. I've never seen it in many years. It was a movie short in which a man is in a car, he drives out and he stops the car and he reaches into the back and he pulls out something and he takes an air pump and he pumps it up and it turns into a big lake. And then he takes something else out and he pumps it up and it turns into a boat. And he pumps up something else and it's a fish. And he pumps up something else and it's a beautiful girl. And then he gets into the boat and he goes out and he catches the fish with the beautiful girl in the lake. And then he comes back and he pumps up a tent and he goes to sleep. And then he gets up in the morning and he takes everything down. He deflates the girl and everything gets deflated back in the fish. And he puts it all back in his station wagon. And he's going off and you see the station wagon driving down. And you see a tap in the road. And the tap hits the tire of the road and then the station wagon slowly turns back to nothing. We can go through the stages where we get to the point where we are so free of clinging. We are not clinging. We don't care if we eat or don't eat, or if we eat good food or don't eat good food. We don't care if it rains or it's sunny. We don't care if we get sick or healthy. We can handle pain. We can do all these things. But there is still somebody. There is still somebody. That force of the universe, that statement, your singing and dancing is no other than the voice of the Dharma. When you meet a being who is good, there is only the Dharma. It is no different than a tree or a river. There's nobody wrong. In that sense, we are babysitting our own psychological death. Whether our physical death is coincidental with that will be of no relevance to us. You imagine that? Because when you aren't, when there is no self-conscious entity, what difference does it make whether your body, whether the body or that body is there or not? And when I try to make sense out of the things that my guru has said, it only makes sense when I do not try to project a solid self-conscious entity. Now, the reason that I have to talk about this thing, which in some way seems a million miles beyond us, is because of the perspective-giving nature of this discussion. That what often happens is you and I, we have made great gains in terms of awareness. I mean, most of us have been through a lot of stuff. And those that haven't still have tuned in and done it very quickly. And so this group is within the cultural framework, a relatively conscious group of people. You are more aware of the ecological implications of your acts. You're more aware of the social implications. You can be expected to be more of what would be called a conscious person. And it all starts to get lighter and easier and more playful and more dancing and more delightful. And I mean, I'm drifting through life. I must say, it's really, as heavy as it gets, it's still light. And I hang out with dying people all the time, and it's still a blast. And I deal with people with excruciating pain, and it's still okay. And there's a sway in which it's spacious and beautiful, and there is that awareness that surrounds it all, and there is an open heart, and there is flow, and it's beautiful, and there is a tendency to say, well, that was pretty good. We really have it together. That's great. I just want to keep this chilling spectacle of where the game leads in my consciousness and in yours. think that what has happened for many of us is that we have been somewhat reductionistic about the spiritual journey. We tended to say it's nothing other than but the words that characterize this Sufi tradition of towards the one, the return to the one, means just that, return to the one. And when there is one, there are not two, and your self-consciousness only exists so long as there are two. God does not know itself, it only knows itself through duality. Duality has inherent within itself the end of suffering. Then the forms may go on what you find and what I find is I am going hell-bent, that expression is hell-bent, towards the goal of being one with God, and at the same moment, it's like one of those horses that's got its paws into the earth, pushing against the momentum of the thing it's doing. There's part of me pushing against the ultimate irrevocable end of this story. At the same point, another part of me is racing headlong towards it. I mean, there is a neurosis in the spiritual journey, and it is inherent in what it lies in is the issue of psychological death. And that's part of why my project with dying is so important for me, because it allows me to deal again and again and again with this issue. When I was in Thailand, I went to a Buddhist monastery, which they cure heroin. They cure 300 heroin addicts every 10 days. It costs $15. No statistics like that anywhere else. When I went there, I'll tell this story now, just because it's how wonderful part of it. The person that runs it is a monk. Theravada Buddhist monk. He is a monk. The 2-minute story is that he was a member of the drug division of the government at the time. He was a policeman. And he had an aunt who was a Buddhist saint, and she said to him, I don't know what a Buddhist saint is, but she was one, and she said to him, you're going to end up killing and hurting people, why don't you help them instead of hurting them? He said, I don't know how. She said, you get your scene straight and I'll tell you. So he gave up the police and he became a Buddhist monk. Buddhist monks take on 228 precepts. Initiated. Non-killing, non-stealing, non-lying, non-sexual misconduct, not taking intoxicating beverages. That's 5. Then there's, you don't sleep on soft beds, you don't listen to music, you don't adorn yourself in any way. Then it gets into more esoteric ones. You don't leave the monastery during the rainy season. It goes on, and they get more and more complex. There's you can't spit in this thing. I mean, it's 228 of them. And those weren't even tough enough for him. He added 10 more. You don't drive, you don't ride in any vehicles. So he was like 3 hours by car south of Thailand, and when he had a fight with the government, he just walked to Bangkok. I mean, when I met this guy, it was like meeting an oak tree. There was just nowhere that this guy was just and he got to this point where he had done all his discipline, and then his aunt said, okay, she gave him an herbal method and also a set of vows and stuff like that. And he says to these people that come to the monastery, you can come once for 10 days, you may never come here again. And his mind is so powerful And his reality, in which they are not drug addicts, is so strong that his mind and his reality is stronger than their addiction. And in the battle for their souls, his statement, it's not religious, he doesn't teach them religion. It's merely that the power of his being, there comes a time when an individual becomes irresistible and his action becomes all pervasive in its effect. This comes when he reduces himself to zero. This guy, through 238 precepts, has become merely a dharmic instrument for the healing of heroin addiction. And it is so strong that even junkies can't resist it. So I said to him, is it possible that anybody else could do this, or only you and your aunt? I mean, could we take it to America? And he says, no, others could do it. I said, could I do it? And he looked at me. And he said, well, perhaps. But there wasn't much hope, I could say. And then he tested me in various ways, which the tests were very perplexing. But instead of going to the tests now, let me come back to this. When I came back to the United States, I have many, many friends who are extremely devoted social servants. They really love humanity and they want to help people. And I thought here, and there are many of them that are working in drug rehabilitation. And I thought here, I have met something that works. And I've tasted it and touched it and it feels real, and I saw the changes in these people in 10 days, and I really think, I don't know the statistics, but I think it may work. And in all the time I've been in the United States in the last 3 years, I have not found one human being who's ready. When you get trained in that training, he's not going to let you be done until you want. All that's going to be left is somebody that cures drug addicts. There's not going to be anybody that says, well, I finally did it. There's not going to be any flicker of consciousness. The power comes when the thoughts, the mind has become one-pointed, just and as long as there is the flicker of thought form that comes in self-consciousness, you do something that way, and then there's a quick thought of, I'm doing something that way. Forget it. It's watered down. And that's why you and I have what we have, and why Christ had what he had. It's because we are full of thoughts that keep us oriented to who we are.